All right, so the second video we're looking at how to make your writing even better. So we're going to start by reading the student's paragraph. It's an interesting story, but it leaves us with some questions. So go ahead and pause the video and read this paragraph. Okay, come back. Okay, so some of this story maybe was not very clear exactly what happened. And that is because this paragraph needs more details or more support to make it clearer to the reader. So let's go ahead now and pause the second draft. Pause and read the second one. And I'll just begin by showing a little bit of the differences between them too. So you could say, I remember a time that was funny for me, but scary for my sister. That is the topic sentence. So that's how we want to start our paragraph, with a topic sentence that shows what the whole paragraph is going to be about, just like we saw in the previous videos. So my sister, in the first version, it says, my sister was in her bedroom trying to sleep. But then here we have, it was about 7 years ago on a dark night without a moon and a lot of wind. Okay, we can start to imagine this. My younger sister was in her bedroom. So they added that instead of just saying my sister. So now we know, the age relationship between them. Okay, I decided to go to the attic over her room and make some strange noises. So that tells us where the action was taking. In the previous one, it said making noises, but in the second one, it said, where they were making noises. Okay, and then more details about the noises: scary sounds, banged on the floor, and howled like a dog. So pause the video, keep reading the rest of this paragraph, and then also on your document, you can go ahead and compare a little bit. It does go on to the next page. Okay. All right. So hopefully you noticed a lot of differences um, uh, between the two paragraphs, where the person added a lot more details about the story that made the paragraph more interesting and more vivid. So how do we know what kind of details to add? Let's think about 3 types of details for this one. Okay, so interesting stories have many details. Details are specific pieces of information that help us to understand a general idea better. When we write a story, details help the readers see the story in their minds. Details tell us different kinds of information. So the first kind of information that we can add if we're trying to add more details to our writing is facts. And facts are information about who, what, when, where, why, and how. So you can see this one said 7 years ago answers when. And a dark night answers when. Also, without a moon and a lot of wind answers how. Okay. So for example, if you were writing about, for your homework last week, maybe you were writing about the first time that you came to the United States. You could add some details about who was with you. What were you doing? When was it? Where did you go? Maybe what airport? Why did you come? How did you come? Okay. There's also you can also add details about the senses. So senses means what we can see, hear, smell, touch, and taste. So my sister couldn't sleep. I could hear her moving around in the room. Okay. Finally, we can add some emotions about how the writer and the people in the story feel. So many people did a pretty good job of adding emotions to their stories about their first day in the United States. But you can also add some more emotions for the one that's coming up, where you're writing about the lessons that you learned. That would be another one where it would be great to have emotions. So this is a way, adding more details to your writing is a great way to make your writing better and more interesting. So again, when you're working on these topics for your journals and then also for your timed writing, please make sure to work on those points. Okay, adding details and having a topic sentence, beginning, middle, and end. So you see that all of the stories that we read for this week and the stories that we're writing for this week are about our experiences or narrative, kind of telling a story. But of course, that's not the only type of writing that we can do. So let me just show you a little bit about other types of writing that we are able to do that we'll be learning about coming. Okay, so I wanted to show a paragraph that's not a narrative paragraph, otherwise, like not a story, not storytelling, that is the next kind of major topic that we're going to start studying when we come back to class. So this is more like an expository paragraph or a paragraph that gives reasons, okay? So this paragraph is about being bilingual. And I'm going to go through the whole paragraph to show you and explain some different parts. But if you would like to pause it and read before I start going through it, that works. So the paragraph starts with a topic sentence. So just like in the narrative paragraphs we read, they tell you, have the first sentence tell you what the paragraph is going to be about. This one does the same. There are so many benefits to being bilingual. In other words, knowing 2 languages or more, right? So there are so many benefits to being bilingual. We know that the whole paragraph is going to be about the benefits of being bilingual. And you can see that's the topic sentence. Okay? First, you can communicate with many more people. When you speak more languages, you can talk to more people. If you want to travel to a different country, you will also be able to communicate directly with the people without a translator. So in this little part right here, in this kind of first point, their point is about the communication benefits of being bilingual. And they give us a detail, as you can see, by saying the word different country, right? So they are showing us where we can use our language skills. That's one of the facts, right? Who, what, where, when. You can communicate to people without a translator. Okay, when we see this next part also, we know there is a new idea being introduced. So the first idea was about communication. Also, you can learn about a different culture when you learn a new language. You can learn about the food, cultural practices, sports, and many elements of a culture. So in this one, they gave some examples, which is another great way to build your paragraph by providing more details or examples. So the first point was communication. The second point was culture. Finally, and you can see that this is a transition also and has a comma after, just like first, also, finally. Learning another language helps people around the world get along better. So it helps people have better relationships. People can communicate and understand each other better on an individual level. Maybe different countries' governments can even get along better when people speak more languages and learn more about each other. So all of this from this sentence first until the end is the body. That is the supporting sentences in the paragraph, okay? You can see that they had 3 points inside that paragraph: communication and culture and people getting along, relationships, okay? Those are 3 different points that support the main idea of the benefits of being bilingual. Finally, we have the conclusion, which is these are some of the most important advantages of being bilingual. So hopefully from this paragraph, you can see how, just like in our story, when we're writing a story paragraph and we sort of have the beginning, middle, and end, we have the topic sentence first and then the beginning, middle, and an end. We have here the topic sentence and then our sort of 3 points. Now, those 3 points are not organized by time order. When we tell a story, they're organized by time order. When it's not a narrative, we just sort of present our points using different connecting words like also or in addition or finally, but it's not finally like by time, like at the end, it just means, it's the last point. So when we come back to class, we are going to be working on this type of paragraph. And when we're working on this type of paragraph, we will be also learning how to make a paragraph like this into a longer essay. So I'm looking forward to it. Hope you are too.